Hey my friends, this is Daniel Aldie, and today I want to talk with you about 7 surefire ways to become rich. So listen up. The first tip is to stop selling your time. Look, when someone puts a price on their time, there's only so much time that they have. If you say you're worth $20 an hour, you can only work 40 or 50, maybe even 60 weeks at the most. That means you're limited to a certain number of hours that you can work, which means you're limited to a certain price that you can accept as your payment. If you keep selling your time, eventually you're going to run out of it. And nobody likes to run out of time, so you have to find other streams of income that does not involve exclusively your time. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to sell time. It's okay to sell time. In fact, there's many times where rich people have to sell their time. But what I'm saying is that don't only sell your time expecting to become rich. And that is one surefire way that you can begin to build your wealth at the highest level. The second surefire way to become rich is to eliminate bad expenses. Now, how do you eliminate bad expenses? First, you have to figure out what exactly they are. And the best way to do this is to print out your bank statements in the last 90 days and go through every single expense and scrutinize it. Be careful with how you look at every single purchase that you've made in the last 90 days. You have to ask yourself, are my purchases legitimate or are they based off of pressures? Are they something that I just merely want, or are they something that I absolutely need? There was a phase in my life where I would shop for books every single day on Amazon. Now, obviously, I'm a bibliophile and I have thousands of books, but I had to start sorting out which actual books that I actually want, that I actually need, that will actually build skills and give me the knowledge and ideas that I need to create the success that I want in my life. And the way that I did this was, instead of adding things to the cart, I added them to my list. And later on, I would look at the list and ask myself, do I really want these things? Do I really need these things? And if I did, I would add it to my cart and then make that final purchase, which would be an expense that I knew was legitimate. So when you look at your bank statements, you have to determine if those expenses were legitimate, if there were things that you actually needed, or if they were based on pressure and emotions and things that you felt like you wanted but actually don't want. There are a lot of expenses that you can absolutely eliminate. So look at your bank statements again and determine exactly what they are and try to find legitimacy before you eliminate them. Once you do, you'll have more money in your pocket and you'll be able to build your overall wealth. The third surefire way to become rich is to gain business skills. Now, there's a lot of people who are collectors and connoisseurs of life skills. For instance, maybe they like to learn a different language. Maybe they like to hunt and fish. Maybe they like to draw pictures. And whatever it is that it may be, there's so many skills out there to gain. But what I'm talking about are business skills. Skills that are actually valuable to the marketplace that can serve yourself, others, and the world at large. Now, learning life skills like cooking and martial arts and photography are very important, but learning business skills will better prepare you for wealth and put you in a situation where you can do those activities and hobbies at a higher level. The fourth surefire way to become rich is to study. Now, when I talk about study, I'm talking about study wealth. Study rich people. Study things that you know are going to help you understand what you need to do to put more money in your pocket and to build your net worth. There's so many people that end up spending hours every single day studying miscellaneous things. But if you study miscellaneous things, you get miscellaneous results. You have to understand exactly what you're putting into your mind, because your mind is like a garden. And if you plant better seeds, you'll get better crops. You'll get better results. You'll grow a bigger harvest. So ask yourself, what are you studying and where is it taking you? The best way that I know how to gauge my studying is to keep a journal. Every single day, I write multiple pages and I look back in my journal and I can see exactly what I'm studying. And if I know that there's something else I need to be studying, I'll start to study those things because I know that they're going to help me to grow further in the end. The fifth surefire way to become rich is to play the long game. There's so many people that just want to make the quick buck. They just want to get their next gig. They just want to get their next paycheck so that they can pay the bills. But my friends, if all you want to do is pay the bills, that's all you'll end up doing. So you've got to want more for yourself. You've got to think about your legacy. You've got to think about the next 10, 20, 50 years of what you are becoming. When you focus on the big picture, you're no longer going to run into the trees, but you're going to go up to the mountaintop and see the whole entire forest. You'll gain a bigger picture, you'll gain a better perspective, and you'll have a bigger bank account. Look, my friends, if most people gained $1 million, they better become a millionaire pretty quickly in their mind. They better learn how to expand that wealth, because a lot of people, if you gave them $1 million, it will quickly disappear because they won't know what to do with it because they haven't had training on their own financial consciousness and wealth. Look, my friends, if you really want to become rich, you have to be patient, you have to be steady, and you have to measure your progress along the way. What I'm basically saying is that if you're averaging $100 a day right now, you better see to it that in 12 months, you'll be averaging $200 a day or even more. Eventually, in 5 years, you want to be averaging $500 or $1,000 or $2,000. Whatever kind of goals you set, you want to be able to acquire the skills and the mindset necessary to raise your daily rate and help yourself to excel in financial terms. But if you're playing the short game, you won't be able to see the vision. Because if money is all you want, then money is all you get. But you'll end up living paycheck to paycheck, which can be extremely frustrating. One big thing that I realize is that a lot of people end up chasing money, and that's why they don't end up having any of it. But what's better is if you end up chasing opportunities. Because if you chase opportunities, the money will come. But if you only chase money, then you'll miss all the opportunities along the way. Number 6 is you want to start purchasing assets. Even if it's a small amount, it will get you started in the right direction. When most people get paid, they end up spending all their money on their lifestyle. They end up spending money on their liabilities, and that's what keeps them broke. But if you start acquiring assets, you will begin to grow your net worth and gain confidence in investing, and it will take you so much further, so much faster. There's so many things that you can invest in. The stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, businesses. There's a plethora of opportunities, but you have to keep your eyes open. And the way that you keep your eyes open is you start taking charge of the money that you have. Once you start saving up a certain amount, your mind will start wandering and you will begin to ask yourself, okay, where can I put this money now? Okay, what can I do with this 10 grand, this 20 grand, this $50,000 that I have in the bank? Even though a lot of people are able to save money, they end up squandering it all because they fall into the pressures of life. I know one particular man that saved up $250,000. He had $250,000 in the bank, but he fell into the pressures of life. He got married and he had a big wedding because that was a lifelong dream of him and his wife. He bought a big wedding ring, big diamonds, so much money. He bought cars. He bought a house. He bought clothes. He took vacations. Next thing you know, he was just stuck with $10,000. Just enough for an emergency fund. My friends, if you invest in assets and fall away from the pressures of investing in liabilities, it will put you in a better situation. It will make you happier, and it will make you richer. What I'm basically saying, my friends, is to use your money wisely. Learn how to build assets. Don't fall into the pressures of life and spend money frivolously. Work on yourself, work on your mindset, and start building assets as soon as possible. The 7th surefire way to become wealthy is to start a business. Because when you start a business, you control your hours, you control your income, you can never get fired unless you fire yourself, and you position yourself for ultimate success for many decades in advance. Starting a business is the greatest way to boost your wealth. If you're tired of incremental raises only making a couple $1,000s more in a year, and you want to double or triple or quadruple your income, then a business is the best way to do it. You have full control of your life because you control your hours, you control your pay, you control your vacations, you control your employees and your clients most of the times, and you can determine where your business wants to go. But when you have a job, you're confined to a certain way of thinking, to a certain way of acting, to a certain way of being. Now, not everyone is an entrepreneur. Some people are meant to be employees, and employees are good, otherwise we won't have entrepreneurs. But if you know that entrepreneurship is calling your name, then you need to start your business. You need to take it seriously, and you need to begin growing your wealth at once. If you want to learn how to start a business, subscribe to my channel right away and hit that notification button. And by the way, connect with me on other social medias and leave a comment in the section below. I look forward to hearing your thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.